to the universe is like taking a trip down memory lane. The farther from Earth we look, the farther back in time we see. The farther back in time we see.
Never get tired of that.
Never.
Well, do not adjust your sets, ladies and gentlemen. Actually, you might be able to want to, otherwise you're not going to be able to see us.
Yeah. And we apologize for the technicalities.
The technical difficulties.
Yes. We kind of blame our one Greg for doing this. Thanks a lot, Greg.
Yes, we may be small in size, but we are big on enthusiasm.
Mm-hmm.
Welcome to episode number 64 of the most must-see show to ever hit the Bedford TV airwaves, or any airwaves for that matter.
True.
The Wrestling Connection. I am your host, as always, your connection to the wrestling world, your encyclopedia of the mat, Mr. Ken Hill.
And of course, I am yours truly, Mr. Mad Wolf himself, the Madman, and professional wrestling, Mr. Zachary Keith Martinez.
And future Tough Enough champion.
Yep. And speaking of, championship, though, this past Sunday on WWE Payback, our own Mr. Ken Hill, finally, for the third time, is the WK pay-per-view champion. And let me tell you, it's just the way how this went, though, it was down to tooth and nail.
I know. It was back and forth. I mean, it was right down to the wire. Came right down to the main event tiebreaker.
Mm-hmm.
It was literally a four-way battle. Ironic, no?
Yep.
A four-way battle between me, Brian, Greg, and Ori. Who was going to come out on top? Who was going to come away with the big win? We all had big picks riding on it, and Brian's all sorts of upset. But the bottom line is, came down to the match time. The match of the main event came in at 21 minutes 15 seconds.
And as once again the champion for the third time,
with a match time of 20 minutes, beating out, according to Price is Right rules.
Yep.
Beating out Brian's time of 23 minutes and 30 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
Your three-time champion, I am happy to say. And of course, I don't plan on letting go of this baby anytime soon.
Oh, I wouldn't be so sure about that, because don't forget though, for this month we do got one more pay-per-view.
Yes, we got another surprise courtesy of the WWE Network, the return of the Elimination Chamber.
Yep, which actually started my reign for being undefeated. Well, somewhat a 2-month undefeated reign, but that hopefully for this will be my redemption. So you may not be able to hold on to that title for long.
Oh, we will see.
Oh, we will definitely see.
All right.
But of course, we're gonna review this. We are gonna review this past pay-per-view,
the WWE Payback, and our pay-per review.
All right.
All right. So I mean, of course, we kicked things off with the kickoff match.
Mm-hmm.
We had the Mega Powers, brother.
Yep.
Versus the Ascension.
Uh-huh.
Both team. I mean, we had the Mega Powers paying tribute to legendary greats Hulk Hogan and Macho Man Randy Savage.
Oh yeah, brother, dig it.
The Ascension were upset by this. Felt like that they were desecrating idols that were long past their prime.
Yep.
And that's how this whole thing came about. Now, of course, we saw all the classic iconic spots. We saw the attempts at the elbow drop. We saw the immortal leg drop.
Mm-hmm.
But ultimately, Ascension came out on top here. Put away Mandel with the fallen man and took and picked up the victory.
Well, yeah, which I mean, I'm not too surprised though. I mean, like I pick the Mega Powers, but deep down, like I had a feling the Ascension was gonna win. So this was
I mean, this was the only. as far as Brian and I went, this is the only blemish because if this hadn't happened, we both would have had a clean sweep.
Oh yeah. So.
So that being said, I mean, and it makes sense because as far as the Ascension has fallen, and when you've gone all the way to the bottom and you're facing off with a pure,
Completely mediocre.
a purely comedic tag team in the likes of Mando and Axelmania, you really got nowhere to go but up.
Yeah.
So and which shows they get the victory here, and then we find out the following night that they're one of 6 teams entered into the first ever history making, ladies and gentlemen, first ever tag team championship elimination chamber match alongside the primetime players, the champions, of course, the New Day, this is Kid, the Lucha Dragons,
And
the Lucha Dragons, and Los Matadores.
Oh yes.
Almost forgot about the Puerto Rican bullfighters.
Yeah.
Who could forget about them?
Yeah. So this an elimination chamber is going to be completely nuts. And
I mean, according to this, it's going to be tornado tag rules, meaning both members of two teams will start out in the ring every 5 minutes. There will be a new team introduced in the elimination chamber. Elimination comes via pinfall or submission, and once one member of a tag team is pinned or made to submit, the entire team is gonzo.
Oh,
Bye-bye. Aloha. Avita-sen. Goodbye.
oh yeah. So and I'm really hoping this will be the end of New Day, and we can actually crown
New tag team champions.
Exactly.
I mean, you got five interesting tag teams. An interesting dichotomy, or I don't know, quintotomy. I don't even that's a word.
It's
An interesting quintet of challengers to choose from for the upcoming Elimination Chamber.
Yeah.
And it's going to be all the more interesting when we make our predictions next week for our Elimination Chamber pay-per-view. That's right, folks. We went right out from the frying pan into the fire. We got another pay-per-view
So literally
coming up this month.
I believe this is what, our third one for this month alone?
Well, no, our second one.
Oh wow, really? Our second? I could have sworn. Okay. So yeah, this is our second one though within a short amount of weeks. So and
Yeah, unbelievable.
oh yeah, and we can't wait for it. And
We can't
so
wait. So now we come to a personal grudge of a rivalry, a brutal rivalry that's been taking place. Dolph Ziggler versus Sheamus. Now, this was about as hard-hitting a match as you could expect. There was a lot of bad blood between these two, and some bad blood even got spilled here. I mean, Ziggler was a valiant fighter. Dodging Sheamus' attempts at the bro kick, and even getting a little bit of payback by making Sheamus kiss Ziggler's tanned backside.
wow, shocker.
A little graphic for you folks.
Yeah.
But ultimately, Sheamus came out on top after a errant headbutt by Ziggler ended up busting himself open.
Oof. Oh yeah.
Unfortunately, he busted himself open the hard way, lost so much blood he couldn't even stand, and giving Sheamus the opportunity to hit the bro kick for the penultimate 1, 2, 3.
Oh yeah, and for those that are wondering though, he got cut exactly right along his right above
Right above his eye, above his right eye, ended up getting 12 stitches there. So not a fun night for Mr. Ziggles.
No, but hey, I mean, there's one point though he didn't make. No, this on Raw though. You know, chicks do dig scars.
Chicks dig scars. Apparently, Lana digs those scars. She digs Ziggler,
Oh.
as we've been finding out the last few days on both Raw and SmackDown.
Oh yeah.
But we'll touch on that just a little later after we review the I Quit match. Now, as we found out, there's also an Intercontinental title chamber match.
Oh, yeah.
Made for the Elimination Chamber special. 6 competitors vying for it. We have of course Sheamus and Ziggler thrown into the mix. We have
King Barrett,
R-Truth, Rusev, believe it or not. A little spoiler for you guys.
Yep.
And Ryback.
Oh yeah. So
Plenty of hard hitters, plenty of movers and shakers,
and a lot of excitement when it comes to the Elimination Chambers. There's gonna be some bloodshed, and there's gonna be some broken bones.
And literally anyone could come out on top here. Hell, I mean, heck, we could see R-Truth come out Intercontinental Champion.
Oh please no.
Oh yeah, we never heard it. We never heard it. Oh, spiders beware. of R-Truth, the new Intercontinental Champion.
Ugh.
All right. Now we move on to the second grudge match of the night. The new king, of course. The ring, Bad News Barrett.
Or King Barrett.
King Barrett going up against Neville. Now, Neville took the fight to Barrett right away. Barrett would come back, grounding Neville for several minutes. Neville would come roaring back, get several near falls, had Barrett on the ropes at many points in the match, was getting ready to go for the red arrow. He dodges out. They fight out at ringside, and it seems like that Neville was ready to fight. He was ready to finish the match, but Barrett, as they were approaching the 9 count, got up, had second thoughts, went back off, and took the count out loss. Now,
Really, dude? I mean, are we trying to do a repeat
I mean, yeah,
of what happened with Sheamus?
Yeah, like I said, okay, this was supposed to be the rubber match of the feud between them. I mean, you had Neville pick up a win in Extreme Rules. You had Barrett win the King of the Ring finals between these two. This was supposed to be the rubber match. I mean, okay, you could touch on it later if the two were in the Elimination Chamber, but sadly Neville is not for whatever reasons. Supposedly the slight leg injury he suffered here, meaning he's going to a feud with Bo Dallas now, which has some continuity from NXT.
Yep.
Since the man who Neville beat to start his record-breaking NXT title reign.
Even though he kind of didn't exactly break the record, he's the second longest, but
one of the longest reigns in NXT title history.
Right.
The man he beat was Bo Dallas, who has been making no bones about his dislike for one Mr. Neville.
Yep.
Now, regardless, after the match, King Barrett tried to ambush Neville, crowned himself, put on his robe, his scepter, was ready to make a night of it, but he missed on the scepter attack. You see Neville here with that amazing deadlift German suplex. This you gotta remember, this guy can not only move like lightning, he's got strength.
Oh yeah.
I mean, the fact that he can deadlift someone like Barrett, who's not only a head taller than him, he clocks in 250, 260 pounds. That's 260 pounds he's deadlifting right there.
Yeah, I mean, I could definitely see this guy definitely within a few years of becoming the absolutely phenomenal guy that we'll never forget, WWE World Heavyweight Champion one day.
We'll see.
Oh yeah.
We'll see. Now moving on, we had the first of 3 championship matches. We had first of 3 championship matches. The WWE Tag Team titles would be decided in a 2 out of 3 falls match. Now, what was fascinating about this was that from the outset, Cesaro and Kidd challengers, they dominated.
Oh yeah.
They dominated. They dismantled Kingston and Big E within a matter of minutes. Had Kingston lined up for the big swing and Cesaro swing into the slingshot drop kick, and before you knew it, they were already up 1 fall. Now the New Day would find their bearings. They would actually isolate Kidd from Cesaro, knocking Cesaro out to Big E, knocking Cesaro out to ringside, picking away at Tyson Kidd until they were able to put him away. Now, of course,
one apiece.
Now, this is what I liked about the 2 out of 3 falls match. This isn't like typical 2 out of 3 falls, like where you have like 2 fluky roll-up type pins,
No.
and then you have an actual match. This was 3 fully realized matches in one, which is what I liked about this. They went away from the typical lazy WWE format here, and just let these teams go.
Oh yeah, and boy, oh boy, they did.
Oh,
Unfortunately, for the end of this third match.
Well, I mean, yeah, they were closing in. So, Kidd, I mean, we see this impressive spot right here where Kidd went over the top rope, but Cesaro back pressed him into the ring. And talking about skinny the cat, he skinned Cesaro. I mean, literally, watch this. He goes onto his back. Cesaro, literally using nothing but his back muscles, flips him back into the ring.
Wow.
I mean, barring Brock Lesnar, Cesaro is pound for pound the strongest man in WWE.
Oh my God, no
Bar
doubt
none.
about it.
I mean, they came, like I said, they came within an eyelash. They were very close. I mean, and you notice the entire time, most of the match, Xavier Woods was on the outside arguing, oh, they should have Freebird rules. He should be able to make substitutions. That wasn't the case. So Xavier decided to take matters into his own hands, and while the ref was distracted with Natalia and Big E and Tyson, Cesaro who got hung up by Kingston. Xavier pushed Kingston out of the ring, rolled up Cesaro himself without being seen, and in a way that he could not be seen by the ref, and rolled him up for the 3 count.
Wow.
So, I mean, highway robbery at its best.
Oh, yeah.
And what I like about this is that this is a new tactic. I mean, we see new tactics by the New Day each and every week. We don't see the same tired cheating shtick in and out. We see something a little new, a little different each and every time they come out. That's what I'm liking about New Day as a heel and as a heel team. And when they become fully realized, that's when I think they're going to go into second gear.
Oh yeah, no doubt about it.
I mean, you got them being all righteous and self-centered. You got the champagne flutes with milk. I mean, these guys are classic heels who believe they're faces, but everyone knows they're heels.
Oh yeah.
So I mean, that's what I like about this. And now we know they got 5 teams in the Elimination Chamber to face off with. I mean, they're up in arms about it, but I'm psyched for it. I'm pumped for it because we're gonna. I mean, we got high-flying teams like Los Matadores and Lucha Dragons. We got technical teams like Kid and Cesaro, Big E and Kingston. We got big bruisers in
The Ascension
and the prime time players. So I mean, we got a little bit of everything this match. This is going to. I mean, this is a history. Like I said, history making. First time tag team titles decided in the Elimination Chamber ever. So this is going to be history making. It's going to be show stealing.
Oh yeah, I have no doubt about it. We are going to have new WWE Tag Team Champions, without a doubt.
If the New Day can come out of this, it will be a miracle.
Oh my God, yeah, no doubt about it. So
yeah, you better get that power. You better get that power of positivity going, fellas. You're gonna need it.
Yep. So as Hulk Hogan said, take your prayers and drink your milk and take your vitamins, brother, because you're about to get the crap kicked out of you by five different teams.
Say your prayers, boys.
Yep. So I believe we're coming to what, the Divas?
We're coming to the Divas tag team match where we had the Divas champion Nikki and Brie, the Bella Twins, going up against the newly furbished team of Naomi and Tamina.
Oof.
I mean, now of course everyone remembers this all came about when Naomi felt like she was being shafted out of title match after title match after title match, whether it was just okay because others were telling her to stand to the side, or the fact that Paige won in her own home country, or outside interference by Brie when Naomi would get an actual title match. So she brings in Tamina to even the score, and it showed right here. Tamina plays the bodyguard role. It's what she knows and what she does, and she spent a lot of the match keeping Brie, destabilizing Brie and Nikki, picking them apart. Now, I mean, we come to the end of the match. I mean, surprisingly, Nikki kicking out of the rear view by Naomi, showing she's definitely had some fight to her. But thanks to a timely distraction of Tamina throwing Brie into the ringside barricade, kind of a switch on the whole outside distraction that Brie pulled at Extreme Rules. Naomi was able to slam Nikki off of the top rope and pick up the 3 count, pinning the Divas champion.
For the third or fourth time?
Third or fourth time in the last couple of months. Now, of course, this would finally grant Naomi a one-on-one championship match the next night on Raw. But as it seemed like that Nikki was picking up speed, it seemed like she was closing on the victory. Tamina comes in, lays her out with a big-time super kick, a la her cousins, the Usos. Shocker. Causing a disqualification loss for Naomi. But they really didn't seem to care as they started beating down on Nikki. Then, out of nowhere,
my girl herself, Miss Paige.
Your little English muffin.
Yes.
Paige makes her valiant return, drives off Naomi and Tamina. But just as a reminder to Nikki that okay, she's still got some memories and bruises of what Nikki and Brie have tried to pull on her in recent months.
Yep.
Laid her out with a Rampage DDT. Nikki would pay her back in kind on SmackDown. Now, what I like about this is Paige is out for herself. She's not looking to make any alliances with Nikki. She's well aware of what Nikki and Brie tried to pull on her before she ended up on the disabled list.
Yeah, pretty much. Now, you got two women now that are out for blood. They're out for blood and the Divas title.
Exactly. And I mean, the one flaw here, the one bit I'm not liking is that Nikki's still trying to put herself off as a face champion. Okay, now Paige is back. Okay, Nikki, you can stop pretending now. You can go back to being a bad girl because we know that's what you're good at. Yeah. We know you and Brie are no good at being good girls.
Oh yeah, then let's not forget. Of course, Steph in the picture though.
Yeah, because it's not. Because, I mean, I didn't think it was possible, but the Bellas have even less personality when they try to be good guys.
Oh, sure, it's true. But, yeah, I mean, since you got Stephanie McMahon back in the picture, though,
yeah,
there's going to be some real
now with Brian out of the picture, Brie Bella's husband, taking much needed time off to recuperate. I mean, Steph feels that Brie needs to go into counseling.
Supposedly.
Paige and Dr. Shelby.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
So that could be interesting if they decide to go in that direction.
Oh, no doubt about it. But, yeah, at this coming, Elimination Chamber, it's no doubt, though, like, Nikki's going to be, one short.
Nikki's obviously not going to have Brie to back her up. It was made earlier this week, a triple threat match for the Divas title. The champion, Nikki, defending against both Paige, seemingly the rightful number one contender, since she never got her one-on-one shot.
Sure.
Versus Naomi, who still got a bone to pick with both Paige and Nikki.
Yeah, and plus she has Tamina with her.
She's got Tamina in her corner. So seemingly without Brie in the picture, begs the question:
who's really got the most momentum?
Who's got the most?
Or Paige?
Who's going to have the most to gain? Who's got the most to lose going to that match? Obviously, Nikki has the most to lose. Not only without Brie in her corner, but her Divas title on the line in a triple threat match where she doesn't even have to be pinned or submitted to lose the title.
Exactly. So like I said, though, when it comes to Tamina, though, it's no doubt she's going to intervene with this. And plus, this is a triple threat match. Let's not forget. No
disqualifications, which means Tamina's got full reign to get involved. So this could break down quickly.
Oh, yes. So now I believe we're on to what, the next...
Now we actually come on to the third match, an interesting, underrated match, as I stated on our Facebook page, facebook.com/The Wrestling Connection. What I thought was actually a rather underrated match. We have Ryback versus Bray Wyatt. Now, essentially, the reasoning behind Wyatt's constant assaults and berating and messages towards Ryback was that simply, Ryback, I see through your facade. I see the scared little child instead of the big hulking brute. And essentially, when asked point blank what was his reason, Bray simply said, Ryback was in my way. So essentially, Wyatt's looking past Ryback here. He doesn't see him as an opponent. He pretty much saw him as a roadblock, as an obstacle. Now, this was not a technical match by any means, but it did have some interesting work on Ryback's ribs, which actually legitimately Ryback had one of his ribs broken when Wyatt did a diving senton, diving back senton off of the ring apron right on to Ryback, and of course, I mean, with Ryback, a lot of Ryback's strength, a lot of his moveset comes from his core, so he was not able to pull off a lot of the big moves that we normally see out of the big guy, except this, late in the match, and we have the immortal words from Jerry Lawler, the big guy can fly. I mean, a big splash. I mean, not a good idea when you got injured ribs, but Ryback threw caution to the wind. Now, it seemed like, but again, there were times where Wyatt was on the ropes. There were other times it seemed like he had eyes in the back of his head. Literally, in this case, when Ryback was coming around the corner to assault Wyatt, Wyatt nearly decapitates Ryback with a huge clothesline. So it seemed like there were times where, like I said, Wyatt was on the ropes. Other times it seemed like he had Ryback's number. But Ryback would mount a rally, and we see him trying to hoist up Wyatt, the rotund, a little pun right there, rotund.
Yep,
Rotund.
with the shell shock.
Rotund. For a Wyatt, for the shell shock, Wyatt's struggle to get out would seemingly accidentally pull off the ringside turnbuckle. Didn't seem like so much of an accident after he shoved Ryback rib first into the top turnbuckle, and then took advantage, hitting Sister Abigail for the 1-2-3. So Wyatt gets his momentum back from losing to Undertaker at WrestleMania, and we don't really know. I mean, Ryback, of course, is in the Intercontinental, and yet Ryback is the one in the Intercontinental Championship picture.
There's no way Ryback's gonna win this. I'm making a prediction.
Yeah, he's got no momentum.
Wyatt's gonna intervene with this match somehow.
I see Wyatt. I see Wyatt either getting involved or actually inserting himself into the match, a la Edge from several years back. So we could see this. So we could see Wyatt. We could see Wyatt going for his first championship in WWE. I mean, the same token, we have the newly reunited Harper and Rowan. So we can not only see a potential Wyatt family reunion. If gears shift, if things work, if things turn out the way that they want them to go, if things turn out a certain way, we could potentially have all the Wyatt family coming out with gold at the Elimination Chamber.
It's a wait and see, and things are going to get crazy. That's all I can say about that.
Okay, so
and I believe we're up to
we're up to the I Quit match, the United States Championship, Rusev versus Cena. Now the whole thing was based on patriotic pride. You had two men who were absolutely not willing to say I quit for the sake of themselves and their respective countries.
Right.
Now, I mean, Rusev even offered Cena a mercy bit, asking him, okay, you don't quit now, you're in for a world of hurt. Now,
Shocker, it's just like with the Miz a couple years ago.
Right. Now, this didn't play out as much like the typical Cena match as we expect. We saw some familiar spots. I mean, we saw Rusev getting barreled through a barricade. We saw him fighting through the crowd using backstage equipment. At one point, we saw Rusev getting AA'd on to a pyro set, much like the I Quit match back from the Orton John Cena match several years back.
Nope, no. You're talking about Batista.
The pyro.
Oh.
The pyro bit.
Yeah. Oh, wait. No,
with Cena and Orton.
You're right.
Years back.
I was thinking of with Batista, how John Cena had him in the AA.
Yeah, but that was going through the steel grate.
Right. All right. That my apologies.
The steel grating. I mean, speaking of steel, I mean, we see Rusev suplexing Cena onto one of those old, as Lawler put it, one of those old tiny steel guardrails, bending it in half. So Rusev gave as good as he took in his match. So, and then at one point he even managed to get Cena into the accolade. But the problem with this was, okay, even though he made Cena black out, pass out, he had to say I quit. I mean, passing out was technically. They said that at the beginning of the match, literally the rules stated you had to make your opponent say the words "I quit."
That's the only way you can win.
So
no pinfalls, no submissions, no count out, no disqualifications. You have to literally say the words "I quit."
Not even referee stoppage. Literally, the only way you could win was through the words "I quit."
So literally, this is like the ultimate way to literally punish someone.
Exactly. And then we saw a little interesting callback to something early in the feud where Cena tried to finagle a U.S. title match, putting Rusev in the STF, driving him to unconsciousness, then reviving him with a bottle of water. Rusev does the same thing right here with a bottle of water, and then does something reminiscent of John Cena's early 2007 feud with Umaga, unclasping a turnbuckle, the entire turnbuckle, untwisting it, unhooking it, getting ready to drive it into Cena, but Cena would counter into the STF, use the rope to tie him up in it, and then you could hear Rusev shouting in Bulgarian. We didn't know what he was saying, but apparently Lana had a pretty good idea, got into the ring out of mass concern for Rusev, and said the immortal words that he quits, he quits, he quits.
And going on to the next night, Rusev basically saying that
He was saying it in Bulgarian, I quit.
Well, I was actually saying that he said, that wasn't what he was saying, but then Lana came out and saying that you practically were screaming at the top of your lungs, you quit, you quit, you quit, you quit.
Exactly. You had translators on Twitter, on all the wrestling news sites, all of them stating more or less along the same lines that Rusev indeed quit. He was stating in his native language that he quit. He lost a match fair and square. However, he did not see it that way.
No.
He was even more upset at Lana than he had ever been before. The next night, absolutely chewed her up and spit her out and pretty much threw her to the curb.
Which was stupid.
Exactly. Then you have Lana coming out later in the night after Dolph Ziggler finds out he's been entered into the Intercontinental Title Elimination Chamber alongside Rusev.
Oh yeah, and not only that did it get Lana's attention, but
she laid a big time smoochie twice on Ziggler, which Ziggler kind of had the idea. She was just trying to do this to get under Rusev's skin since he dumped her earlier in the night.
Yeah.
But we don't know if her intentions are pure. If we don't know if there's something more to this. But
I believe the points got made out though, because Rusev would come out, as the jealous boyfriend.
She tried to assault Ziggler, but then Lana would stop and lay a big old
Russian major slap,
a big time Russian slap on Rusev.
Oh, and you could see the look in his eyes.
He was ticked. He was ticked, but that would give Ziggler enough time to lay Rusev out with a zigzag, and Lana and Ziggler would go walking off into the sunset.
Yep.
Or back up the ramp.
Yep. Or possibly a couple.
So now, this brings into question the direction for Rusev. If you checked out the WWE website, we see a new entrance video for Rusev that goes back to his Bulgarian roots. It seems like he's cut himself off from his ties to Russia. He's gone back to his Bulgarian roots as the Bulgarian Brute. So, we saw something similar with Del Rio, okay? Once he got rid of the fancy cars, he got rid of the silk scarf, his personal ring announcer, his stock pretty much took a kind of a dive because he just became another generic heel. There's nothing really notable about him other than the fact that he was Spanish.
Right, so it goes to show you.
Mexican, sorry.
Yeah, so it just goes to show you, it's just the same angle where it's going to go with Rusev. It's just straight downhill for him.
Is there going to be something more to him, or, are we just going to see the same route for Rusev that we saw for Del Rio?
Right.
Remains to be seen. He is in the Intercontinental title picture, so let's see where it goes.
Right, so
now we come to what was my favorite match of the night. The Fatal 4-Way for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship.
Oh, yeah.
We had Seth Rollins defending against not just Roman Reigns, not just Randy Orton, but also thrown into the mix, Dean Ambrose, who picked up a one-on-one victory over the WWE World Champion and found himself entered in the match courtesy of Kane, who had been having a conflict of interest in the match, conflicting issues. Okay, he said he had enough money saved up. He said he didn't really need the job that Triple H gave him, but he's been the most loyal employee that Triple H has seen in the past 20 years.
True.
So, again, Kane factored into the storyline much more than I think he needs to.
Yeah.
And, not only that, but we kind of got an anticlimactic reveal of where his loyalties lied. Early in the match, when it seemed like Rollins was about to eat the pinfall, suddenly, okay, here comes Kane interfering in the match, assaulting Ambrose and Orton and Reigns, and so, okay, yeah, we pretty much found out, okay, Kane's sticking to the authority. Big shocker.
Yep. Oh, yeah, and there's even one thing that really caught my eye. There was even one point you actually got a chance to see a semi Shield reunion when they got Randy Orton into the triple powerbomb and slammed him.
And it seemed like just that for that brief moment in time, we harkened back to the prime days of the Shield, where they were dominant, they were untouchable, unstoppable.
However,
Rollins seemed all up in arms. He was ready to celebrate. He was like, "Oh, I got my brothers back, yay!" And then he saw one look on Reigns and Ambrose's face, like, "We're still gonna beat the crowd out of here."
Yep.
So, and then they said, and then Kane tried to get involved. He gets laid out on the second announced table, and just like Lawler said, who needs Rollins?
True.
Reigns hoists up Kane with Ambrose's help and powerbombs Rollins on to Kane. Oy. Oh, that has to stink.
Man, I'm laughing because it was funny as heck though, but still.
Now,
ouch.
ultimately, Orton would find his. I mean, then we had a little interesting standoff between Ambrose and Reigns. The funny thing is, I like this. You saw the camaraderie in here. You saw the brotherhood. You saw. I mean, you even heard Reigns saying, "Loser buys the drinks." So I mean, they were taking this seriously because for the WWE World Championship, but they were still gonna be brothers coming out of this. They were still gonna be best buds.
Oh yeah.
But we saw an entertaining sprint between these two. Several near falls exchange between them. Seemed like there were times where Ambrose would have come out on top, but then Orton and Rollins find their way back in this match. Reigns gets laid out by Kane with a choke slam onto the steel steps.
Oof.
Ambrose gets laid up by Kane and J&J security, and it comes down to Rollins and Orton. Seems like Orton's closing in. He's ready to take back that world championship. But Kane would interfere, ends up eating the RKO meant for Rollins, allowing Rollins to hit, surprise, surprise,
the pedigree,
and pick up the 1-2-3 on Orton, retaining his championship, and Kane gets to collect another paycheck for another week.
Wow, shocker.
And you see Rollins celebrating with Triple H at the end right here.
Oh,
but the night was not. I mean, it was not over for Rollins as much as he thought he was. Now, while Reigns and Orton are seemingly out of the championship picture for the duration, Reigns making his intentions known to win the upcoming Money in the Bank match. So we don't know what his plans are for the Elimination Chamber. Who knows?
Right.
We may see him in just a random put together match. He may just take another night off like he did on SmackDown. But the point is, Rollins came out for the Authority's appreciation night, celebrating his victory, celebrating him as the architect of a dream.
Really? Could you come up with anything more cheesier?
Corny.
Yeah. Corny, cheesy, whatever
And it's amazing how in that video they showed of him, how they completely edited out the curb stomp.
Yeah.
Like it's a move non grata in WWE now. They
Yep.
can't. You're not going to see it anymore.
Yep.
Not like the pedigrees any less of a dangerous move for the head.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
But okay.
But of course, things did get interesting. However,
Ambrose was pretty much nagging all night. He was getting on Kane's case about how, what would Paul Bearer and Undertaker think of him now, which was a sore spot for Kane.
Oh yeah.
And Ambrose would be put into a match with Bray Wyatt, which ultimately saw J&J Security get involved, costing Ambrose the victory, but not really taking away from Ambrose because the Authority sees Ambrose as enough of a threat. They try to come out and get involved in his matches. Now, later in the night when we had the actual presentation, Ambrose would come out again, this time with all the Authority in the ring. So you're wondering what this guy has in mind for everyone.
Yeah, and put it in short term, so...
Ambrose literally threatened Rollins to get a WWE World Championship opportunity. Because, I mean, look, Ambrose wasn't pinned. Okay, he got a pinfall over Rollins to get into the match in the first place. So, and plus, he knows that Rollins wants to get his vengeance on Ambrose and wrap this personal feud up once and for all. Now, things would obviously break down. Ambrose was actually able to fight off the Authority long enough to get a hold of Rollins, and then, as a nice little callback to when Rollins took out Ambrose with curb stomp through cinder blocks. Ambrose did the same, revealing a pile of cinder blocks at ringside, getting ready to
drive his neck. Literally had his head like this.
Had a steel chair in hand, and Stephanie, she acquiesced. She said, okay, if you let him go, we give you the world title match. Ambrose let him go. He gets the world title match. Of course, the Authority would eventually get their hands on Ambrose before he could put the steel chair through Rollins and through the cinder blocks, and Rollins would get the last laugh with the pedigree. Now, however, this past Thursday on SmackDown, in a rematch, in Ambrose's rematch with Bray Wyatt, J&J would try to get involved again, but like I said, Roman Reigns would be given the night off, came out, saw fit to drive off J&J security, and even get in a good Superman punch on Bray Wyatt, leading to the Dirty Deeds DDT, and Wyatt suffering a very, very rare singles TV loss. And Ambrose finally getting a semblance of comeuppance in his other personal feud with Bray Wyatt, and picking up momentum going into the Elimination Chamber. Like I said, just a wild, wild week. And now just a little bit of news before we sign off. Now, for those who don't know, NXT, WWE's developmental promotion, had a live special, WWE NXT Takeover Unstoppable, featuring some fun tag team action, a barn burner of an NXT Divas Championship match between Becky Lynch and
Sasha Banks.
If you haven't seen it already, I mean, look it up on YouTube, go to WWE Network, whatever you can, see this special. Even if just for the Divas title match, it was a spectacular match. And a great example of what women's wrestling in this day and age should be.
And let's not forget the main event, though. We think the rematch, for Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens
for the NXT Championship.
However, that match never even got started.
It never really got started, although Zayn looked like, it was pretty much a reverse of their last match, where Zayn was dominating Owens at times. He barely didn't get a word in edgewise until around the 8 or 9 minute mark, where Owens managed to catch Zayn, powerbomb him onto the ring apron, more or less, just stopping Zayn dead in his tracks. All right, the refs tried to stop the match. They tried to get help out for him. And then, Owens tried to finish off Sami. Regal tried to come out. William Regal, the general manager. He literally, at one point, trying to fishhook and pull Owens off of Zayn.
However,
he'd get laid out for his trouble.
Actually, he laid him out with a headbutt.
With a headbutt.
That's even worse.
And then it seemed like Owens was going to finish off Zayn with a chair shot to the back.
However,
who comes out? Shocker of shockers. This is like breaking news we're talking about here. Samoa Joe,
the Samoan submission machine,
a legend not only on the independent trail, but TNA,
Ring of Honor,
former X Division champion, former TNA heavyweight champion, tag team champion,
legend champion,
one of the longest reigning X Division champions in the history of TNA, and like I said,
and of course, let's not forget, his history with Ring of Honor.
Ring of Honor, now in NXT, and stared down Kevin Owens to the point where Owens just backed out of the ring. He wanted nothing. He wanted nothing.
The look on his face, literally, he was scared out of his mind.
He was scared to death.
And
that was an Owens' only interesting interaction with a great. We saw this past Monday night on Raw, Owens seemingly coming out to answer John Cena's U.S. Championship challenge.
However,
only to say, okay, he introduced himself by saying, I would introduce myself, but I think you already know who I am. That is about as cocky a statement as you can get.
And it got even worse.
And then Cena tried giving him some veteran advice, only for Owens to remind him, I've been in the business longer than you. You don't need to be the one giving me veteran advice.
And a shocker for all shockers, to
surprising Cena, assaulting him, and then laying him out with a pop-up powerbomb, and then just to stick a pin in it, stomping on the United States Championship. And not only that, we find out that for the Elimination Chamber special, we're going to see, we don't even know if it's for the U.S. title, but we're going to see U.S. Champion John Cena versus NXT Heavyweight Champion Kevin Owens.
Oh my God. And I'm telling you, as if the Elimination Chamber wasn't extreme enough.
Now we got what's almost like a dream match here.
Oh yeah, no doubt about it.
I mean,
you guys thought,
we
how
got
crazy.
another show stealer here.
Oh yeah, no doubt about it. I mean, it was cool enough, with Sami Zayn, Adrian Neville. I mean, two former NXT champions. Now you literally have the NXT champion.
We got the current NXT champion going up against Cena at the Elimination Chamber special. So again, folks, we're gonna have a lot to break down next week for our Elimination Chamber per preview. In the meantime, ladies and gentlemen, we're signing out for this week of the Wrestling Connection. If you have any comments about the show, if you have any suggestions or predictions for the upcoming Elimination Chamber, you can email us at wrestlingconnection@gmail.com. You can look us up on our Facebook page, facebook.com/The Wrestling Connection. You can hang out with us on Twitter @WConnection. You can also check out the Bedford TV MA YouTube channel for all of our present and past episodes, including Zach's Tough Enough tryout video and our year one special highlighting our first year of the Wrestling Connection. All the thrills, chills, spills, and laughs.
Oh yeah, and plenty of laughs.
Plenty of laughs.
Yep.
Now, in the meantime, ladies and gentlemen, we got the Elimination Chamber preview coming up next week. But for this week, remember, ladies and gentlemen, be connected, get connected, stay connected.
Y'all have a good night, folks.
And have a great weekend.
Oh yeah. Too
Many times to ignore it.
There's some things that I'm supposed to be.
Someday we'll find it, the Wrestling Connection, the lovers, the dreamers, and me. La da da dee da da, la da 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 da,
yeah. Have a good night, folks. The champions are here. Woo! Ooh, yeah! Stop with your Slim Jim, brother. Yeah, recognize the champs. Ah.